Hi, it's Warren Black here, and I just want to share with you one of my favorite quotes is in The Art of War, which says, "Plan for what is difficult while it is easy." And I'm sharing this because I've been going through a major mental health and crisis in my life. I'll tell you that frankly. It's really hit me the world that we're living in, eh? Like everything's changed like you wouldn't believe. Like the whole last few years, of course, we thought 3 years ago with the whole COVID and lockdowns and stuff like that, that was pretty full on. But yeah, there's no question that it's like there's like a mental craziness going on, and people everywhere are telling me the same thing. Like mental health professionals are seeing people book in like never before. And there's no question that we're entering some very, very hard times economically. Like companies are cutting jobs, people are cutting expenses, cost of living rising up, and people are scared. They really, really are. And the reality is, I think there's a lot of videos, a lot of things out there that can go out there and try and hype things up and say all the stuff. But sometimes the ugly truth is the best thing to say. We really are in some pretty severe times. You know, we've seen a world regime change. We've definitely seen that. We've gone from a certain way the world was running to suddenly freedom of speech is pretty much attacked heavily. People who are just trying to do the right thing in COVID and help people's health were attacked heavily. Now, of course, we're seeing anyone speaking out in America, things like that, getting targeted pretty hard. And, you know, I won't deny it. At times, I've had my own things happening in the background as well, which have kind of made me go, realizing the reality. But you go ahead, speaking out your truth, which I've been doing, and speaking out and standing for what I believe in. And suddenly it's really hitting me. Where could this actually lead me? Like, where's it going to end up for me? And I've got, okay. And in the end, after going through really a very big crisis in recent months, as I've been dealing with that, I've come out and go, well, what the heck? At the end of the day, I've got to live my truth, and speak my authentic heart, and not try and say what people want me to say. And yeah, look, like you're probably hearing a very authentic version of me on a level that I haven't done for a long, long time. I feel like I've found myself on a level today. It's like I've discovered my magic tortoiseshell, I said to someone. So why am I saying this? Because there's no question that these things are changing, and this is the time to protect your wealth and protect your mental health like never before. And this is something I've realized. You need to be mentally strong to be able to fight for your wealth, fight for your health, fight for your freedom, and stand your ground and be strong. And sometimes it's a case of things just open up. But I think we've lived in a world where there's so much about things happen for a reason and we go with the flow, which is all true, that we've gone into a fantasy. We've lulled ourselves into a state of mind where we stop realizing the action taken, the kind of the steps needed to protect your finances, to protect your income, protect your work, make sure it's protected from people who want to take your money off you. Make sure your mental health's protected from the energy of the craziness going on around you. So, look, I wanted to share a little bit about that because I've done so much studies. I've been involved in off-the-grid underground movements and learned stuff from pretty out there people who've shown me really a lot of the things happening in the world right now. I was predicting in 2006 at the Hyatt Hotel when I was speaking there. Back in 2015, I was predicting it. But in saying all that, it's all very well to predict it, but when you're living it in real life and not just talking it like it's a movie and happening to someone else, it's pretty full on. And at times I've been pretty scared. And I would regard myself as mentally pretty strong. Biggest thing was just owning it. So the best thing that we can all do right now is be in this together, support each other, and take right now the steps that one must take to protect our wealth like never before, our finances, our physical health. Don't do favors for people who don't deserve it to try and be nice. That's the biggest thing I've learned. You're better off to piss off other people than piss yourself off by doing things that go against your truth. That's the other thing I've done. By staying in relationships that are toxic and draining your energy. I mean, it's the last thing we need right now. So for those of you who actually believe in what I'm saying here today, this is just me speaking my truth. And it's not actually going to be a sales, like come to our event. We are going to be doing, I'm giving you a sneak preview. We're going to be announcing pretty soon an event about the sovereign individual, but this is going to be a very different one. It's not going to be up there trying to excite you into sovereignty. It's more for people who realize the price and the hard work it takes to be sovereign. And you want to learn how to be mentally strong. You want to learn how to protect your energy. You want to learn how to mentally fight. You want to learn a bit about your legal rights, the way you can make more meaning. For those who are willing to do the hard work to administrate your wealth a lot better than you have before, those who are willing to structure yourself a little bit better than you have previously and really do it properly so you're protected and not just kind of all hoping it all works out for the best and the universe looks after you or whatever else, the kind of the fantasies we've fallen into in our society. It's about teaching around that kind of stuff and really getting people ready to be sovereign. And sovereignty starts in the head and being strong as fuck, as well as getting your money, your income protected, and being realistic. The last thing you want to do is wake up one day and you've lost your job because artificial intelligence has taken over, or your business has just been attacked, and then suddenly someone's after you, and then you've got this issue, and then you've got a business issue from someone suing you, then you've got someone else suing you, then you've got a regulator after you. And that's the kind of world that we're in now. I mean, we saw with COVID how regulators are popping up everywhere now. We've got like regulators popping up of all kinds of weird and wonderful names, and they're going and they're making sure that they earn their money and earn their keep right now. And very good chance if you're disorderly and there's a universal law at play here. People who are disorderly tend to attract someone else taking power over you. And that's something I've learned. So if you're disempowered in an area of your life, someone else will take power over you. If you're financially disempowered because you're kind of sloppy with your affairs, you're disorderly, you're going to have someone else who's orderly come after you and take control of you. That's actually universal law. So that's one example of the kind of stuff I'll be talking about. If you're disorderly in your affairs and sloppy, you'll probably end up with someone wanting to look at you, whether it's an audit, whether it's investigation, whether it's someone suing you. There's so many things that are going to start happening. And I've noticed this because I'm a qualified lawyer and accountant, just in case you didn't know. I worked for many years running my own law firm in asset protection, tax planning. I was damn good at what I did in terms of fighting and doing stuff like that. And as an accountant, finding legal ways to minimize taxes and structure and things like that. I'm most importantly, actually, I'm a pastor, spiritual teacher, a part of a new breed of teaching to awaken people. So yeah, look, so for those of you who just stay tuned, I will be sharing more about this event over the next day or two. You'll be hearing more about it. And for those who want to come, it's not going to be costly because it's just designed for something, for an online event. But I stress it's only for people who resonate with this message. You know, it's going to be, it's not going to get you excited. It's the hard steps that you're going to have to take and get you ready for what I call for war, because we are in a war. And those who are in this know what I mean, the mental health attacks that people are getting and the kind of craziness. I know many nights I've hardly slept because I felt the craziness of the energy. I mean, you watch what's happening to dear old Mr. Donald Trump, who just simply for trying to speak out, or Elon Musk with free speech, they're getting absolutely hammered by anyone and everyone. So, and Mark Zuckerberg gets meanwhile rewarded, who's done everything to stop it with his new platform. So we're living in a very strange and not very good world, and things I'm sure will change. There's no question things will improve, but right now we're in some challenging times, and let's just face it. So if you want to come to that sovereign individual event and really know about it, just kind of feel free to message me privately or just type a comment in the chat. I don't mind. I'll make sure that we get you a link. But yeah, like I'm deliberately not getting up there and making some big push for it because we'd rather have a smaller number at that event who are really serious about taking action and willing to do that. So I'll finish off with the same quote I started from The Art of War. Plan for what is difficult while it is easy. Plan for what is hard while it's easy. People who are planning early on in COVID got through it unscathed. I did that. I was planning for all the problems way early on. And there's no question I'm seeing a dark winter. I believe we're at the beginning of this recession. I believe it's going to head eventually into a fairly major collapse, into very likely some kind of whole financial reset. And I think many people will simply lose their money. I think it'll be that simple because they won't have taken enough action, done enough steps, and been willing to do what they need to do. Anyway, if you resonate with this, look forward to seeing you, to hearing from you and possibly seeing you at the event.